अभी आ रही क्या?
आ रही है, आ रही है।
आ रही क्या?
हाँ सर।
हेलो हेलो।
हाँ सर आ रही है।
आ रही सर आपकी आवाज।
आ रही सर।
हाँ सर आ रही है।
आ रही है, ओके।
हाँ।
गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड्स।
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So yesterday we studied with regard to chapter 2 from chemistry, and we will continue. We studied yesterday molecular formula and empirical formula. And I defined molecular formula as the actual number of different elements present in a molecule. And empirical formula is the simplest ratio. Simplest ratio of different elements present in a molecule. This is what we decided. Then we saw a few important formulas of molecular formula, empirical formula, weight, and all those things. Today we are going to study the problems related to molecular formula and empirical formula. Today we are going to solve problems. So everyone has got notebook in front and pen in your hand.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, you have to solve this problem, okay, side by side. I will give you the data and then I will explain you one problem. Now, one problem which is there in the textbook, it is in a descriptive form, okay. I'll explain you that also, and I will explain you a shortcut, tabular form method, tabular method also. So, whichever you are comfortable, you will study that. But I will suggest tabular method is much easier for you to understand. So try to understand that, and accordingly you will be able to do it in a minimum space of time, and also much faster, and understanding is much better. So we will go straight to the PowerPoint presentation. Can you see me?
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
Okay. Now I'll just present this, share the screen with you. Can you see the screen now?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes sir.
We'll keep on changing the mouse also. So, yesterday we stopped here. I'll just revise in short some important formulas. Now, what is this empirical formula mass? Empirical formula mass also can be said as empirical formula weight. Okay? Mass and weight is one and the same, but the new term, instead of weight, we say mass. So, empirical formula mass is the sum of the atomic masses of all the elements present in a molecule. Okay, this you'll come to know the formula details once we solve the example. Then is molecular formula is equal to R into empirical formula, where R is any number. Now this value of R can be detected by molecular mass upon empirical formula mass. So molecular mass or molecular weight upon empirical formula weight. And the fourth relationship is molecular mass is equal to twice vapor density. So if the vapor density is given, you can find out the molecular mass. So we'll go to the numericals. Just write down the problem. Can you see that problem? A compound contains hydrogen 4.07%. Okay? Then carbon 24.27% and chlorine 71.65%. Right? This is the composition of different elements. One is carbon, the second is hydrogen, and third is chlorine. Its molecular mass is 98.96 grams. Molecular mass is 98.96 grams. What is its empirical formula? What is its empirical formula? Okay. I would say not only empirical formula, we can calculate molecular formula. So now it is what is its empirical formula? Now, given data is atomic mass of hydrogen, which we always consider as 1, is actually 1.008. The atomic mass of carbon, which you always consider as 12, is 12.000. And the atomic mass of chlorine, which is 35, it's right, or 35.50, right? But it is actually 35.453 respectively. Fine, this is the given data. Now, how we are going to solve the problems? See here. Now, I would go to a tabular form because that tabular form, now this is a descriptive form. So, I'll go to first tabular form. So, that tabular form will help you to solve the problem and will give you a better understanding. Can you see this tabular form? Yes? Can you see this tabular form, my dear children?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I suppose
Yes,
this
sir.
girl can keep her mic open. Don't mute them, keep it unmuted. Okay? So you can respond throughout this lecture. Fine? Now, in a given problem, there are 3 elements. One is carbon.
Sir, your voice is not clear.
Sorry. Now, something is gone.
Yes.
Yes.
Your voice is not clear.
Now, what slide is not clear? What is not clear?
Voice.
Voice. Okay.
Voice.
Now, 1 minute. Something is.
Sir, your voice is not clear.
Acha, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Hello?
sir, now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
think I need to talk little slow also because of this mic. Okay. Now, what is given in the problem are the elements. Got it? There are 3 elements. One is carbon, one is hydrogen, and one is chlorine. Right? Carbon, hydrogen, and chlorine. Of carbon, you know the percentage. Percentage of carbon in the given compound is 24.27. So the second column is percentage. Then the hydrogen percentage is 4.07. Right? And of chlorine, it is 71.66%. Right? So this is the percentage. Now percentage is out of what number? 100. Right? 100.
100.
So I have to check up whether this total is 100. If you see 7 and 7, 14 and 6, 0, 2, 6, 6 and 2, 8, 9, 10, 0. So this is 100. So the percentage is 100. But if you see in a given data, there is some mistake here. They have written as 65, I suppose. Right? In the given data, the problem is, see, 65. So this not should be 65, but it should be 66. So we will modify the data to 66. Because if it is not 100, then the remaining is always of oxygen. So if it, since it was 99.99, that means 0.1% is less. That means that would be of 100. So the data was wrong, so we have modified the data and made it 71.66. So the total is now 100%. Any difficulty here? So the first column was elements and the second column was percentage, which is already in the given data. Any difficulty?
No, sir.
Okay. The
No,
third
sir.
column is atomic mass. The third column is atomic mass. So what is the atomic mass of carbon? 12.000. What is the atomic mass of hydrogen? 1.008. And of chlorine? 35.453. So this is also given in the data, right? So the first column was element, the second column was percentage, and the third column is atomic mass. So the first 3 columns data is given to you in the problem itself. Is it okay? Now the operation start. What is operation? Divide percentage, that is second column, by the third column, that is atomic mass. That is dividing 24.27 divided by 12.00. So what is the fraction we are getting is 2.0225. Okay? Then divide percentage of hydrogen by atomic mass of hydrogen. So percentage of hydrogen is 4.07. Divide by 1.008. That will give you 4.0704. Fine. Then chlorine. The percentage of chlorine, that is 71.65, divided by atomic mass of chlorine, that is 35.453, that is 2.021. Any doubts with this calculation? You can either do directly in the table using the tables, or you can use log table. Any table you can use. Okay? Now, the third, next operation. What is the next operation? Whatever ratio we have got these three ratios, 2.0225, 4.04, 2.021. Which is the smallest ratio out of this term? Which is the smallest ratio? Which is the smallest ratio? 0.021. Because here it is 0.0225. So this is the smallest. So you take the smallest ratio, 2.021, and divide all the obtained ratios by the same smallest ratio. So divide all the terms by smallest ratio is the next operation. That's why we have taken 2.0225, which is the value from here, dividing by the smallest ratio, that is 2.021. That gives you 1 as a whole number. Then the second, 4.04 divided by 2.021, the smallest ratio, gives you 1.999. And the last one, 2.021 divided by the self number, that is 2.021, it gives you 1. So we have got ratios as 1.00, 1.99 and 1.0. So you have to convert this to a relative whole number. 1.00 remains 1. 1.999 becomes, next higher number is 2, and 1 remains as 1. If it was 1.5 here, if it was 1.5, you have to multiply all these terms by the next higher number, that is 2. Not 1 but 2. If this was 1.4, then your ratio would have become 1. If this was 1.7, then this ratio would have become 2. That is, relative whole number would be in a round figures. So now, what is the empirical formula? Go to the first column, that is elements column, and go to the last column, that is relative whole number. So what is the elements? Carbon. How many carbons are there? 1. So I write down this empirical formula as C only. We don't write C1. We write only C, that is carbon. Then you go to the next, hydrogen. How many hydrogens? Last column 2. That's why I got H2. And chlorine. How many? Chlorine 1. So I write only Cl. So my empirical formula is CH2Cl. CH2Cl. Now what is my next step? Come here. Now empirical formula mass. I need to calculate empirical formula mass. I got empirical formula CH2Cl. Now I have to calculate empirical formula mass. How I will calculate empirical formula mass? Look here. CH2Cl. Carbon, what is the atomic mass? 12.01. So I have written here 12.0 plus. Hydrogen, what is the atomic mass? 1.008 into how many hydrogens are there? 2. So 2 hydrogens. So this I have to multiply this. And chlorine, 35.453. Only one chlorine, that's why only 35.4. If I total up this whole thing, I get 49.48 grams. What I get is 49.48 grams. Now, to find out the value of R, that is divide molar mass by empirical formula mass. So what is molar mass which is given in the problem? 98.96 grams, right? So the value of R is 98.96 grams divided by empirical formula mass. Empirical formula mass is 49.48 grams. So 49.48 grams. So if I divide this 98.96 by 49.48, I get the value as 2. So the value of R is 2. Got it? Any difficulty? Yes, one of you
No,
reply.
sir.
Yes?
No, sir.
Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
very good. Now, the value of R is 2. Now, in the problem, there is little mistake. They have asked you what? Look, in the problem, there is mistake. What is the mistake? They have, what is the empirical formula? It is not empirical formula. It is molecular formula. You are calculating molecular formula. Molecular. So there is again a correction. Molecular formula. What is the molecular formula? So we'll calculate molecular formula. So here is the molecular formula, that is, which is here and this is here. So molecular formula. So multiply empirical formula by R. So molecular formula is equal to R into empirical formula. What is the value of R? 2, which we got it from this formula. R is equal to molar mass upon empirical formula mass. So we got the value of R as 2. So I have written this 2. What is empirical formula? This is empirical formula, CS2Cl. So the empirical formula is CS2Cl, which we got it from this tabular form. So this tabular form is there, CS2Cl. We got it, and here we have written down CS2Cl. So multiply this CS2Cl, that is into 2 by 2. So carbon is 1, so 2 ones are 2, so C2. Hydrogen is 2, so 2 2s are 4, hydrogen 4. And chlorine is 1, so 2 ones are 2, so Cl2. So we get C2H4Cl2. If I want to cross check whether this answer is correct or wrong, how will I do? What is the method I can find out to check, to confirm this answer? Sorry?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Your voice is not audible.
What happened? Now it's okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How will I cross check C2H4Cl2 is the right answer?
Divided to the simplest ratio.
Divided to the simplest ratio, which is here CS2Cl, right? That is one way. To cross check this answer is correct, what I will do is, look here, my dear children, I will find out the formula weight. I will find out the molecular formula weight for this. I will calculate this. See now, look here. How many carbons are there? 2. So 12 to the 24, right? How many hydrogens are there? 4. So 24 plus 4?
28.
28, right? And how many chlorines are there?
2.
2. So 35.453 into 2. What will be the number?
70.66.
70. So add 70.60 plus 28. What will be the answer?
98.96.
96. Right? 98.96 is the answer.
Yes, sir.
Right? So 98.96, which is also given in your problem. The molar mass of the molecular compound is 98.96. So this answer is the correct. That is C2H4Cl2. Got it? So my final answer is C2H4Cl2. Got it? Did you find this method okay?
Yes. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll explain to you the other method which is in the textbook. Now that method is little long, lengthy method. Now look here. See, the first step. What is the first step? check whether the sum of all the percentage is 100. Now, 4.07 plus 24.27 plus 71.66 is equal to 100, which was not 100, it was 99.99 equals to 100. But that should not be there when we are writing, when we are solving any problem. If it is, sorry, even if it is 0.001, that is of oxygen by default. So there is no need to consider presence of oxygen atom as the percentages of 100. Fine. So this is the first step. The second step, conversion of mass percentage to grams. Since we are having mass percentage, it is convenient to use 100 grams of the compound as the starting material. Thus, in the 100 gram sample of the above compound, percentage of hydrogen is 4.07, percentage of carbon is 24.27, and of chlorine is 71.65 grams. So this is the percentage. How many? 3 lines we required in a tabular form, but now see how many paragraph, one full paragraph is gone. Okay, the next slide. Now convert this into number of moles of each element. That is, divide the masses obtained above by respective atomic masses of the. Now you have got this mass. Mass of hydrogen is 4.07 divided by 1.008. That is, atomic mass of hydrogen gives you 4.04. Then mass of carbon 24.27 divided by atomic mass of carbon, that is 12.01. That gives you 2.0225. And mass of chlorine, that is 71.65 grams, divided by atomic mass of chlorine, that is 35.453, gives you 2.021. Got it? So this is the of the second column or third column operation. Next. Here, divide the mole values obtained above by the smallest value among them. The smallest value was 2.021, is the smallest value. So what will be by dividing it, the ratio, we will get directly 2:1:1. That is 1 hydrogen, 1 carbon and 1 chlorine. Not 1 hydrogen, 2 hydrogens. So 2 hydrogens, 1 carbon and 1 chlorine. They have made directly, they have not related anything. In case the ratios are not whole number, then we may have to convert into whole number by multiplying by the next suitable coefficient. That is the next whole number, next higher number, I would say in a simple language, that is 2. Suppose it was 1.5, multiply by 2, that will become 3. So all the terms have to multiply by the next higher number, same number. Now here, write empirical formula by mentioning the number after writing the symbols of the respective. That is C, carbon C, 1 carbon is there. This is 1 carbon and 1 carbon C. Hydrogen, there are 2, there's CH2. And the chlorine, there is 1, there is CH2Cl. Thus, the empirical formula above compound is CH2Cl. And the last, that is writing molecular formula. Now this step is more or less same, but it is a different fashion. Determine empirical formula mass, that is add atomic masses of various atoms present in the empirical formula. That is CH2Cl. So the empirical formula mass is carbon, 1 carbon, that's why 12.01. 2 hydrogens, that is 2 into 1.008, that is atomic mass of hydrogen. This was atomic mass of carbon. Now here, atomic mass of chlorine is 35.453. And since there is only 1 chlorine, that's why you have to add all these 3 and you get 49.48, that is empirical formula mass. Now the next is divide molar mass by empirical formula mass. So molar mass is 98.96 grams divided by empirical formula mass, that is 49.48 grams. That's why the value of R is 2. Now I want to find out molecular formula. Molecular formula is equal to R into empirical formula. Molecular formula is equal to R, that the value of R is 2 into empirical formula, that is CH2Cl. Finally my answer is C2, multiply carbon, 1 carbon into 2, it is C2, multiply 2 hydrogens into 2, that is CH4. C2H4 and multiply 1 chlorine into 2, that is Cl2. So finally the answer is C2H4Cl2. Any difficulty? Any difficulty?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So which method you found it better? The first
Tabular.
one or the second one?
Tabular.
First
Tabular one you found it better. So you want to copy down I'll give some time for you.
no,
You
Sir,
are
we don't-
written?
Sir, we can take screenshots.
Okay, you have taken screenshots?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Already taken. Smart, huh?
Yes, sir.
I all are this you have taken screenshot of this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This also. But I think you should take screenshot of this method also. So for you to just okay. So this is
Yes,
one
sir.
method. Just take a screenshot. This is the problem. If you have taken, I go to the next slide.
Sir, in the examination, we can solve
You have
by
taken?
tabular method.
Who is this? What is the name of a girl? Who's speaking? Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. What? Okay. Have you taken?
Sir, in the
screenshot?
examination. Yes, sir, we have taken.
Okay. What about this also? You have taken?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And this also?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. One question.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Very good. Now, homework.
Yes, sir.
Just write down homework. There is one problem after this problem. There is one problem after this problem. After this problem, there is one problem. Did you get it? My dear children,
Yes, sir.
you have textbooks in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See that you have textbook.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Also, I have told you yesterday only 2 things, but then I realized that you should have textbook also. So this problem I think is on page number 15 or 16 maybe.
No, sir. 18.
18, right? Okay. 18, right? And on 18 itself there is one more problem of CuSO4.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, in the second problem it is CuSO. So you try to solve that problem in the textbook method as well as tabular method.
Okay, sir.
Textbook method as well as tabular method. Right?
Yes, sir.
So try to solve problem in textbook method as well as tabular method. So that is your homework. Right?
Okay, sir.
You have understood, I suppose.
Okay, sir.
So all the best. Okay. And anything you want to ask me?
Sir, in the examination, can we solve it by tabular form or we have to write it as it is given in the text?
Okay. My dear children, we could only conduct 2 sessions. My dear children, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We had some technical problem, but we managed to continue 2 lectures, but the 3rd lecture is not possible today. So I will request the class to leave the class immediately as soon as possible.
We will record the 3rd lecture and we will send you the link of that lecture.
Okay? We will
Yes,
record
sir.
the 3rd lecture and send you the link.
Okay, sir.
So your voice is not clear.
Teachers will send you the link. So I request you to immediately leave the class. I don't want single class now, a single student in the class.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
As soon as possible.
Thank you, sir.
There is some problem.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye. Good day.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye. All of you bye. No one should say bye. Just leave the class soon. There are still 45 students in the class. Leave. All of you leave फटाफट. अभी छुट्टी है तुमको आज के दिन.
हेलो
Yes.
सर
पिछले लेक्चर नहीं होगा. रिकॉर्ड करके भेजेंगे.
बात करनी थी सर, बात करनी थी.
हाँ.
सर मैं अभी बाहर गया था ना लेक्चर से ऑटोमेटिकली, तो वो 100 पार्टिसिपेंट ही ऐड करके.
बाहर नहीं जाने का. बाहर नहीं जाने.
नहीं सर, ऑटोमेटिकली बाहर गया.
Working on it. That's why once you join the class,
Sir,
you should not go home, not go out also. Okay. Once you join, you should be
Sir,
in the
मैंने-
class, or don't join.
सर
So
मैंने
you
अभी
will
सर को
first
फोन
of all
किया था,
submit.
500 सर को.
Okay. So leave the class fast. Still there are 17 students. Now we have to do the exercise, no?
Exactly. First of all, we have to remove this.
Still 8 students are there. Limbalkar, please remove, go home. Yes, Aarti, please leave. Sania, please leave the class. Zarekar, Pranav, Bhagyashri, please leave. For a long time you are there in the class. Roshan, please leave the class. I think you can leave fast. So much time for you to leave. Please leave the class as early as possible. Pandari, please leave the class. Pranav, Maske, please leave the class. Someone has joined class now. Don't join. Sangre, please leave the class. There is no class today. Third lecture will be recorded and sent to you through the link. Sangre, please leave the class. Please don't join. Please don't join. Prabhune, Beran, please leave the class.
If you won't,
Please leave the class.
we will remove you.
Ajay, please leave the class. This Zarekar, who is this Zarekar? Who is this Zarekar? Jeevan Zarekar? Why you are hanging around? Sangle, please leave the class. You have joined just now. Please leave the class. Sangle, Vairaga, don't join the class. Don't join the class. Leave the class immediately. There is no class now. Today only 2 lectures. Zarekar, please leave the class. Yes, Zarekar, the phone number kara. Gaikwad, don't join. Gaikwad, leave the class. Gaikwad, leave the class. Gaikwad, leave the class. Yes.
Yes.
Ata?
Classroom.
Palve, don't join. Please don't join. Leave the class. Today no third lecture. Today no third lecture. Third lecture will be sent to you through recorded link. Yes, Ata sir.
आता क्लोज करून आपल्याला गुगल क्लासरूम
साहेब गेले ना सगळे
डायरेक्ट गुगल क्लासरूम मध्ये सेटिंग्स
इथंच ना गुगल ऍप येईल ते इथं सर सेटिंग नाही आहे
इथं ये
मला आउट नाही करता येणार आता थांबा ना इथंच असेल स्टार आहे ना
नाही क्लासरूमचं जिथे लिंक येतं ना जीएच चे क्लासरूम
तिकडेच करू शकतो ना आपण जीएच ये ना ये इथं आहे
जनरल
इथं अरे यार ये भी ना माउस चेंज करते हैं लोग.
आणि खाली काहीतरी ठेवावं लागेल सर.
येस ना विजिबल टू स्टुडंट्स बरोबर ना. हो गया आणि सेव्ह बरोबर सर.
आणि रिसेट करायचं सांगितलं होतं का नाही?
रिसेट नाही करायचं आता. झालं ना. आता हे बघ हे आलं सर. आता
पहिल्या लिंक होती बघू ती क्लासची चालू त्याच्यामध्ये नाही.
नाही. ओके बाय बाय. आता
आता तुम्हाला फक्त साइन इन करायचं. ते करंडे परत आलं का?
कुठे
करंडे इज ऑल्सो हियर.
आता त्याला सांगा करंटे लेफ्ट. तर तो कसा आला.
माहित नाही सर. आता पण टेक्निकल इश्यूज होत आहेत सर. तेच आज रिझॉल्व्ह करायचं. आता वरती पण
हे सर इथं हे झालेलं आहे.
आता दिसणार नाही सर आपल्याला. मी आता बघतो एकदा मोबाईल वर.
पहा बरं विजिबल टू स्टुडंट्स नो सर.